Bum, bum, bum. Welcome to Heroes and Hooligans, your 7-day-a-week outlet for actual play, tabletop role-playing of every stripe and type. I think we got most of them covered. I am Jason. I am the Master of Ceremonies for a campaign we are launching tonight. This is session 0. How excited are we for a campaign? I think this has been in the works. Holy, how long have we sort of had the idea that
A long time.
and I've taken a long time to come back to DMing. I've done a couple of special occasion type things. We did a fantastic 6-hour one shot with Winter, who helped me so much that day. I remember how exhausted I was and how much my voice actors helped me. Guest NPC voice actors are an idea and a creation that I never would have thought of. That Holy, our fearless leader, right there, top middle. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Thought of in winter, spring. And next thing you know, it's spring/summer, and we have winter. So it came full circle. That video you saw comes from Lala, who is Neris tonight, and we're gonna have everybody introduce themselves and their characters. But I just want to acknowledge the talent, the hard work, and just the tremendous power of artistic talent that we have at Heroes and Hooligans. One of the reasons that I took so long was it was really important for me that if I was going to start another campaign, the last one ended in January after nearly 2 years. If I was going to start that again and really commit to that 50 to 70 sessions, multiple years, week after week, writing content week by week, not pre-planned, that I really wanted a talented cast that not only had individual, just a bunch of just role-playing killers, but that I felt really would mesh and fit together. And it took some time to really align those forces and then align our schedule. But here we are. So here we are at session 0. I'm so excited. This is Kamatchkalan Chronicles. And I'm going to say a couple of things about the world, and then we're going to talk some mechanics and do introductions. But one thing I will let you know is anyone who may have watched our, would you say it, our, what would you call it?
Our pilot show.
Our what show?
It's our pilot show.
Pilot show. Yep. Paint and Pendulum. It existed in a world that was written week to week, mostly by the players. My job was to sort of improvise in the moment and be prepared for anything those players could do. And then for the rest of the week, sort of stay just ahead of them with content so that as they sort of tipped me off into what they were thinking, what they were planning, what they were speculating, I would have enough fictional content and encounters and challenges ready for them by the next Sunday. So those were Sunday nights. It was a fantastic challenge. We did a lot of great things. We had a lot of great sessions. We want to do that again. We're going to make some improvements. I think we've gotten better as a brand. I think our production value is just better because of the talent we've got and the reps that we've got in. We've got amazing voice talent and role-playing talent here with us. But this campaign will exist in that same world. And I know Huli is dying to know what timeline. What I will tell you is it exists in that world, but on a different continent. And over the next X number of weeks, we will find out what timeline this campaign exists in. One of the things I'd like to do is take chances with multiple campaigns existing within the same world, and decisions by one party potentially impacting the challenges and the choices for other parties on the channel. So we're gonna be ambitious. We're gonna try that. We're gonna try to give you a taste, give you Easter eggs. If you watched that, or if you go back and watch it, there's definitely going to be a lot of callbacks, a lot of references, but I'm not going to spoil where we are in timeline. So, Holy, did I miss anything before we do intros?
No, not aside from if you want to talk more about the place, the campaign, unless you want to wait till we intro for that.
Yeah, I want to. We got one last layer before I get too deep into.
Yeah.
I'm feeding back through somebody's mic. We'll find out. Sounds like it's fixed. So we're waiting on one player who will be here shortly, I believe, and then we'll get into some of that stuff. So the place, let's see. The place is, we're going to start in a town called Astoria. Why don't we just bring a map up? That's always easy, right? We're going to start in a place in Astoria, but Astoria is the town. Any of you who may have watched Whistle for the Choir, it was a ultra fast-paced short shot adventure last month. And Shield here played just a memorable, insanely memorable character in that. This will take place in the same town. That will be a good sort of prelude for this adventure. Kick it off adventure style, very fast paced. Think 80s adventure movies, think Indiana Jones, think I'm not going to spoil it with any other references, but I will draw heavily on the Steven Spielberg style, pace, and tone. We're going to try to keep this fast moving when we get in the real sessions. And this will start in the same town. This town is, think sleepy town in the Northwest Pacific coast. There is logging, mining, fishing, and because of that boom, the town really went through a boom period, and they were a victim of their own success in many ways. And over the last decades, it has slowly fallen into decline as the whales and the fish have learned to avoid that area, as maybe the water was polluted, maybe the forests were over forested, maybe the mines were tapped. And slowly the town has fallen from its former glory. And that will be where the party really picks up. They are coming to a town that is a shadow of its former self. So, all right, let's do introductions, character and player. Player first, I think, and let's start with Lala.
Why start with me?
Because of exactly that reason.
I'm taking notes over here.
I know, and you did such a great job on the video. I just want to acknowledge your work, and you get to go first because of it, as a punishment.
As a punishment. Well, gee, thanks. Okay, so I'm Lala. Many of you have probably seen me all over our channel, but that's me. Do you want me to do myself and then the character, or are we all going to do ourselves?
We can do players first, and then we can go back through with characters.
Okay. So I play on Monday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, and in our new Sunday night campaign starting this week, as well as do most of our graphics and intro videos. And I just really love this community that we have and being a part of it. So that's me.
So you're a casual, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, completely casual. I definitely am not, elbow deep in any of it. Not at all.
Awesome. So glad to have you here. I was saying to Huli last week, I thought you guys were old friends, and come to find out you are relatively new to us. So we're so glad to have you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Winter, how was vacation?
It was fantastic. Thank you for asking. We went to the beach for a week for my mom's birthday.
You are super talented DM, super talented voice actor. You run Wednesday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair to say?
That's fair. Evening, yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about yourself.
Sure. On all the Twitters and socials, I go by G Mistress Winter or Mistress Winter among the Discord servers. I am a GM, voice actress, and writer, and I discovered Heroes and Hooligans quite a few months ago now, and have loved being a part of this community ever since. Met the wonderful Huli, which we'll hear from here shortly, and she was just so welcoming and everything that I was instantly hooked. I've also been a part of games for Hunters Entertainment and the Bear Pen, if anybody's familiar with any of those. And yeah, I hope to continue to bring great content to the Heroes and Hooligans lineup.
Awesome. So glad to have you. And immediately just such a help to me. Thanks again for June. That was a long day, and you helped bring a lot of ideas and a lot of tone and spirit. So thank you again.
It was my pleasure, and it was really fun. So thanks for providing that stage.
Awesome. Shield, tell us about yourself.
Hey, I'm a Sad Coyote. Going by Shield for this character. I am very new to Heroes and Hooligans. Found you guys through Twitter with Mistress Winter. Had a chat with Huli. Came here at first to try to do some voice acting work and managed to bumble my way into a player role. So happy accidents. Had a blast with Whistle for the Choir, and when Jason reached out to me about doing some more with you guys, I figured I'd jump for it because I like rolling math rocks.
You did a great job, and I think the tone you strike with it's like gritty fun, and it's like a release valve. So I feel like you bring a lot of balance to an adventure, to keep it feeling like an adventure. Because sometimes I need people that are going to pull me out of the, dark and gloomy. I'm looking for challenges. So you really helped me stay in that mindset of this is an adventure. It's supposed to feel that way. It's supposed to be fast and fun and dangerous. So really appreciate that. And I think you're going to be a perfect fit in this party.
Much obliged.
All right, Huli.
Yeah.
You need no introduction.
I don't. I'm just Huli, and I'm here doing Huli things like I always am. 7,000 days a week, 865 million days a year, and for the rest of eternity. I think I'm actually a lich, and that's why I'm able to do all of this stuff all of the time, because there's no other way possible. But I'm back, baby, because Banal is my favorite campaign, and I'm excited to be in a place that I didn't get to go in the last Benalia campaign. So here I am.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I chose this area. It was unexplored, so it's sort of a blank canvas. I can do a lot of things without constraints, and then tie in elements as they make sense without feeling too constrained by past content. But I do remember you bringing that up, like, here's this spot on the world map. We've never talked to anyone from there or been there, so we're going to explore that. All right, we are waiting for one other player, but we will introduce Cappy right now. Perfect timing. Cappy, welcome. Introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, I'm Cappy. What other introduction should I give?
Well, everybody's introduced it. We're doing player introductions first, and
Sure.
then we're going to do character introductions in a bit after I work through some ground rules.
Sounds good. So I'm Cappy. Z0 pronouns. I play in the Tuesday night game and some home games. And I apologize for being late. Traffic was so bad I had to go through Virginia to get to Maryland from DC.
Jeez.
Yeah,
That happens
there.
around here sometimes, but only when it's real bad.
been there. Was there rain down by you?
There was rain, and the president wanted to go from Rockville to his house,
Mm-hmm.
which means they closed all the roads between me and my house so he could go to his house.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So Cappy, we first played together in a campaign a little over a year ago, maybe summer 2021. Does that sound right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And your spirit with first Hattie and now Flip on Tuesday nights, just something I always want around me. So that's no secret. You've heard me say it before. So so this is the band of players. I really wanted to separate the players from the characters in session 0 because it really was I was not casting for classes. I was not casting for roles. I shouldn't even say casting. I was not recruiting and begging. I was really trying to assemble a team of people that I felt like really brought tone and talent that was complementary. And Cappy is just one of those people that I know brings something to every party. So whistle for the choir. Cappy, you were in there. Dorston was in Whistle for the Choir.
Mm-hmm.
That is Shield, Sad Coyote. So we're putting the band back together there.
Woohoo!
So we've got I'm excited. Thank you all for joining. We're 20 minutes in, and all I'm doing is thanking everyone. But I promise I'm going to be really hard on you for the rest of the time. So not for the rest of the time. I'm going to find the line that feels challenging for you. That is my commitment to you. That is
It's
my,
not find the line that feels challenging. It's find the line that feels like death.
there's a possibility.
That's the line we're going to ride. The one that feels like we could die at any minute.
Mhm.
But
This could all go terribly wrong.
I
Yeah.
don't see what could possibly go wrong.
So let's start into some ground rules. A little bit about me, my philosophy as a DM. I wrote this over a year ago, I think, to just give new players a little bit of insight. Most of my stuff is pretty standard. I don't get crazy. I barely know the rules. I know just enough to think up a probability and how likely it is that what you're saying to me would work, and I can do basic math and give you a DC check. That's mostly all the rules I know in this game. But I do want to give you a little bit about my general philosophy up front. So the first thing is, Holy just said, I will make it feel deadly. Yes. I will try to make it feel deadly. But I'm genuinely rooting for your glory. And I believe you can't have glory, and you can't be a hero without really being taken to the limit and taken out of your comfort zone. So I am rooting for your glory. That's rule number one. It's rule number two. Rule number three, keep it in mind, I'm going to make you paranoid. I'm going to make you question things, second guess each other. That's where the good content comes from. I said it last night. Content comes from me listening to you speculate about the things that you're paranoid about that I threw out there as breadcrumbs. So that's where a lot of it comes from. But I genuinely trust my math. When I build an encounter, it's got like a 20% chance of really going terrible. It's got a 20% chance of you just steamrolling it. But I'm trying to find the line where, it's mostly your skill and your creativity that will solve that problem. So like I said, rule one is I'm rooting for your glory. Rule two is glory is a function of overcoming great odds and struggle. I will make it a struggle. Okay. I think I've talked about this, so I'll devote a significant set of energy in creating a world where glory can be gained. In return, I expect thought, creativity, and energy in return. This is not a hack and slash. Although most nights you will have a battle. You might even have one tonight. Most nights there will be a battle. I try to keep them quick. I don't like 2-hour battles. I come from the old school where it was 6-hour battles and that was everything, and I don't want that. But most nights, we're gonna talk a lot, and then we're gonna test. So, but it's not a hack and slash. Do your homework. Most of the things I say, if I put music in, any of you who are in Whistle for the Choir, the music meant something. The music will mean something. If music comes, don't ignore it. Part of it's for tone, and part of it is clues that may not matter that night, but may matter down the road. So these are all things to take notes on, or to think about, or to talk to each other about. I want you all to talk to each other throughout the week. We're all going to write this story together. Mostly you guys. You guys are mostly going to write the story. I'm going to manage the world. So this is an open world. The choices are nearly limitless, but all choices will have trade-offs and consequences. That's rule number 4. Okay, so everything you do, I'll never say no. We're going to roll with it, especially in the session. I'm going to lean in, yes, and going with it. But the rest of the week, I will think about the people who might know about that decision and how they might feel about that decision. NPCs are a big factor in the world, whether we have a guest NPC or not. NPCs will have opinions about the choices that you make. Not all NPCs are there to be killed. So there are some that will last months and years, and they will have opinions about the decisions you make, good and bad. Your options are truly, it is wide open. I've got 5 really experienced players. You're going to be very good in battles. You're going to play above your challenge rating. I expect that. So I'm going to find other ways to challenge you. Battles are not going to be your primary challenge. It is going to be one of the ways. Puzzles will be one of the ways. But there's going to be a point where you're starting at 3rd level, you're going to get to 6th level, and the choices you make are going to have effects on the entire town. And then you get to 9th level, and they might have effects on the entire region. At 3rd level, it might be a butterfly effect thing. But 9th, 10th, 12th level, you're gonna really have you're gonna have challenges that are asymmetrical and not only in battle. Okay, so I'm a big believer in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and I follow. I feel like it is an easy guide for a long running campaign to follow it. So anyone familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
I am a preschool teacher by day.
Okay, Cappy, can you allow me to stop talking? Give us the elevator pitch on Maslow.
So Maslow has a pyramid of needs, the idea being that when educating children, you have to, and I'm assuming this means when being a human, you have to take care of the base layers of things before you can take care of the higher levels. So if a child is hungry, they will not learn. If a child does not feel safe, they will not learn. Things like that. So it's very much a like provide for physical needs and then emotional needs, and then you can access higher level stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So their basic needs: food, shelter, safety comes after that. Um, when I apply it to role playing adventures, I think 0 level are sort of at the subsistence level, getting along with their lives. First level players, you throw them out into the wilderness, and they have to think about food, water, and a safe place to sleep. Um, but as you rise in levels, not only do you have a wider impact zooming out on the world, but I'm not going to obsess over did you bring enough water or are you encumbered, right? Those are like not interesting at all once you get after a certain level. You're starting at 3rd level, so you're sort of in the safety and security zone. You've moved out of the can we afford to sleep somewhere tonight, or do we sleep on the hard ground? You're sort of above that. Those things are met. Those things are taken care of. So we're not going to be counting copper pieces with this. But then you start to get up to as we rise. I want you to think through your character arcs and develop those characters and add complexity to them. Once you get beyond safety, can we win the battle against the Minotaur or whatever the Naga or whatever it is, and that you start to think about developing relationships and those kind of things, and then prestige, and then self-actualization. That's the goal for all of us. We want to have our characters get to the ultimate version of themselves as they get up into those high levels. So I would love for us to get up into those high levels, 15, 16, 18. But I will expect the play to rise to that level as well at that time. One of my frustrations, and I've had 2 campaigns go from 1st level up to 17, 18. And when the players stop putting in the effort to really think differently than they were at 3rd through 5th level, that's where I start to lose steam as a DM. So that's my pitch for Maslow. Cappy, did I misrepresent anything there? Okay, great.
I actually really enjoyed hearing it applied in a new way.
Okay, I'm going to hit you with another junk science, not junk science, but it's a quote that I also believe in. I believe it is attributed to Albert Einstein. I could be wrong. Small minds discuss people, average minds discuss events, great minds talk about ideas. Same thing. As we progress, we're gonna be focused a lot on the people, the characters at first. Then there are going to be these big regional events, world-changing events. But ultimately, as we get up into the high level, I really want to talk philosophy and ideas and what kind of world do you want to live in once you start to have the power to actually have an impact at that global scale. So that is my ambition. I'm not enforcing this, but I just want to say up front, this is my ambition. This is my vision of what a perfect campaign would look like, and this is why I was pretty staunch about who I wanted to be on this journey with. Okay, let's see. Have I missed anything else? I feel like I've talked way too much so far. I will make some decisions you will not agree with, but in the long run, I hope you will see that there was logic to the approach. So you're not going to agree with every decision. If I make a quick DC, or if I say, okay, this would happen, you're not going to agree with all of it. But again, I'm rooting for your success. I really am. Long term, over the course of my time scale might be different than yours in that decision, but I truly am. Your characters and this party is not the center of this universe. This world will move around you. If you decide not to go down a path, you see clues that something might be happening, and you decide to go do something else. This is a real one of the ways I will challenge you is to overload you with breadcrumbs and loose threads, and you're going to have to make some real decisions around which loose threads do you try to tie up, and which ones can you afford to sort of play out without you there. That play out thing is one of the things I think about throughout the week. What else is happening? Who's doing what? So events will take place that have really nothing to do with the party. Roles matter. Without a chance for failure, there can be no glory in success. Horrific accidents will occur. Outrageous fortune as well. I think in Whistle for the Choir, was it? No, it was on the charity stream. We had a double 20 to kill the BBEG. That's fantastic. We're also going to have some really terrible things, and you know, every character that starts tonight may not make it all the way through. My hope is that the players make it through. So this is not a meat grinder. I don't expect to kill characters very often at all. I do have a TPK. I have a predefined plan for if a TPK happens. Just you know, it's something I need in order to find the razor's edge with you guys. So just trust me on that. I'm going to do everything in reasonable power, short of blue lightning, to keep interesting characters alive. So if you invest in your character and you're really invested in climbing that hierarchy, we're going to do everything we can do to preserve that character all the way through. And last, this is the last one, and then I will stop. I don't have everything figured out at all. We will all figure it out together. Okay. That's 15 minutes of talk. That is my basic philosophy in how I approach a campaign. So, any questions? Okay. Did I scare anyone off?
No.
Okay, good. Let's do character intros. Who wants to start? Cappy, I feel like you have a very clear vision of your character. Let's hear about it.
I am a tree. That's the basic of it. My name is unpronounceable. It's tonal, as the language of trees may be. And my companion has dubbed me, because after trying a few times with anybody, I inevitably just sigh. But yeah, I am a tree. I am a rogue, as is the way of trees. I was awakened by a Fey druid who wanted me to help fight eco-terrorism in the form of organized gardening. But I didn't hate my gardener, so I have left and am finding my own way.
Down with the monoculture.
I mean, definitely down with the monoculture, but a good
Yeah.
caring gardener is not the same. as an eco-terrorist, and bonsai is not an unethical practice.
That's
I
just
mean-
so
I love
mean.
that so much.
And here we go. Who wants to go next?
Well,
I think
if I may-
Elvira should. Sorry.
If I may ask pronouns for Psy.
That is a very good question. Because you see, I was propagated from a cutting, as was the tree before me, and the tree before me, and the tree before me. I am a weeping willow. We don't do gender. I am confused by the fact that pronouns exist in common. So I'll let you know when I find out.
Very well.
In the
Thank you.
meantime, any, all, they, them, or avoiding them is perfectly acceptable.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And if I may make a suggestion, I think Elvira would be a good next intro.
Well, yeah, that's probably right. I probably should have went first since I'm going to usually be the most important person in the room. How could you not be the most important person in the room when you're super entertaining and your feathers are as pretty as mine? I will be playing Elvira Binks, a Owlin sorcerer bard who draws their powers from their childhood best friend, who may or may not have been invisible to everybody else and wasn't to them, and gave them some interesting powers. And somewhere along the way of escaping my captors who thought I was entertaining and used me for music, I met my good friend Sai, and now I live in their branches. So, I'll play music when I want to, not when you want me to, because I'm nobody's entertainment anymore.
But if I ask really nicely,
Well, you have like this slight exception to the rule because you let me live in your branches, and I'm not necessarily the tidiest creature, if you know what I'm saying.
That was going to be my next question. How big is Elvira and how big is Sai if you could live in the branches?
I'm just a tiny little owlin, just the little small, very small one,
I
with
am a-
white feathers and a fancy little outfit.
So,
Bright
so you're a
eyes.
bard.
And sorcerer, yes.
So you're a bard, and Sai is a willow. So Sai, are you comfortable with bards playing woodwinds, or are you pro, or you prefer to brass, or is it offensive?
It really depends on where the wood was sourced. I do prefer consensual cutting or gathering of the wood we've already dropped. But woodwind music is the closest humanoids have gotten to the music of the trees. So I really enjoy the sound.
Yeah, and that's definitely not what I play. I flute, and most of the time it irritates Sai, but occasionally I can tap into this little bit of Celtic style stringing, and Sai doesn't bristle their leaves as agitatedly as normal when I play that way.
As long as you remember to cast your fire spells outside of the nest.
It just depends on how long we've been at the gambling hall before.
It's like, please go outside to smoke.
All right, who wants to go next?
I vote for winter.
I also
I
vote
knew
for
you
winter.
were good at that.
Alliances are forming.
I know. And here I am, the lone wolf, just like, I'm not bothering anybody. I will be playing Naime, who at first glance is an unassuming run-of-the-mill mercenary wearing worn chain and carrying around a notched long sword. The only real defining feature is her heterochromia eyes. She has one green and one blue. However, if you ever run into her and they've switched places, the eyes have switched places, you're talking to Suda, her twin sister that shares a body. Two spirits in one. Overall, they are an Echo Knight, and in combat, Suda will project and aid Naime in a fight.
Awesome. Let's hear from Shield.
Yep. Planned on volunteering anyway since I pointed out Winter. So, I am Shield, a Scourge Aasimar from a disgraced knightly order. I have abandoned my former name as a symbol of my shameful past, and have even abandoned the arts that I was trained in and picked up a fighting style that I learned from we'll just call them people important to me. I tend to wear pretty unassuming clothing, with the exception of my mask, because it's a little bit hard to hide the Aasimar face. Shield tends to be pretty polite and mild-mannered, but deep inside, he is an absolute powder keg of justice.
A powder keg of justice. Oh, let's see. Will I be able to work in the... No, I'm not even going to say it. I will just work it in later. Powder keg of justice. Love it. That's a good song for like a metal band, I think. Like a Christian rock metal band.
Oh, yeah.
Christian rock metal.
What class are you playing, Shield?
I'm a zealot barbarian. And I am ready to die. And live and die again.
Pretty sure we have to level up some before you get to do that, though.
As long as any of you have Raised Dead, we can kind of do it already. So somebody please take Raised Dead.
Is there a cleric? Let me see. I'm looking at all the characters right now.
I think Lala's going to play the healer as a druid.
It's good. It's good for Sai.
I think that's a good segue.
Yay! Yeah, so Nerys is a Circle of Stars druid. She is a satyr, and like all satyrs, she is eternally optimistic. There is nothing that has ever made her sad or discouraged or, she's happy all the time. She is a member of the Church of Forrests, which other people might know as Bast. And basically, they celebrate all day, every day, for anything. So Nerys has spent most of her life in one of the fest halls, and so she's kind of socially awkward, doesn't really know how to deal with other people, but she is determined to change the world. So that is why she is out adventuring, because she finally thinks that maybe there might be more to life than partying. Maybe. And that's pretty much Nerys in a nutshell.
After all, it is a great big world. Lots of places to run to.
Yes, and she will probably run the moment she sees a field of any sort of flowers. So.
Good. Awesome. That's our party. We talked through, everyone knows everyone's class and basic roles. If not, we will definitely find them out. First battle. That's what battles are good for. All right. Let's see. We're at 46 minutes. Do we want to dip a toe into the world itself?
I'd love
Yeah,
to.
that's a silly question. Yes.
Or dip a root,
Along
yeah,
with
go for
Hulu.
it.
I should say.
I will. I did have a question as we begin to start.
Yeah.
I know that Sai and Elvira are familiar with each other. Have the rest of us been introduced?
You have not, but you have been seated at two adjoining booths in the Green Dragon Inn. And that's where we will pick up.
I love offering the lead in.
Am I there or am I outside?
You are there.
Excellent.
You've been brought over to a booth. The host isn't quite sure your seating requirements, but they're a little concerned about the green velvet. But yep.
I wonder if they have a card table anywhere. I do like cards.
All right, as you all sit down, you overhear two old veterans arguing at another table. What would win in a fight? One ogre or 20 bullywugs? First one says, the ogre is just way more powerful. Just way more powerful. The other says, yes, but the bullywugs are easier to control. They'll work together. And the first says, maybe at first, but the ogre will swipe one, swipe two, then there'll only be 18 bullywugs, and then swipe one, swipe two, and there'll only be math was never my specialty. Yeah, and they'll circle, yes, but then swing the club, and then they'll, 2, 3 more, and now there's less bullywugs. And they have to each be perfect. They have to work together. Yes. Meanwhile, at the bar, you see a large blonde man with a colossal smile, the brightest smile you've perhaps ever seen. In gleaming armor, half plate on his chest. It's so shiny. He's standing, he's holding court. There's people just standing around, hanging on every word. And if you lean in and you listen, you can hear him say, so there we were. Just my compatriots and me. We're exploring the local mountainous terrain, just exploring, just exploring. And out of nowhere, we hear a shriek. And you have to understand. I mean, out of nowhere. We're just walking around the woods. There's no problem at all. And from the treetops, we see this beast lording above us, with malice in its mind. You could see it in its eyes. He leans in and he gets quiet. I went to reach for Gleam, my ancestral legacy. He puts his hand on the pommel of a sword. But something took hold of me. Some foul bewitchment. So I darted behind a cedar trunk to gather myself for battle. Suddenly, the beast speaks some kind of gibberish about lands older than memory before spitting a cloud all over my comrades. Genly was the first to fall. his face frozen in horror. I can still see it. And as he's frozen, he falls over, toppling, head over heels, down and off the cliff, down the hill and off the cliff. Poor Genli. And I thought to myself, I've got to do something. So I got myself ready. And my friends, they fought valiantly with arrows and spells and projectiles and song. But one by one, they fell to claw and tooth. And when the time was right, I marched forward, dodging tail and storm. And I sank the killing blow between its ribs. And I was the only one to survive. They all died. But I got him. He's no more. Someone says, no. Lies. And he pulls in his pocket. He pulls out a metallic scale and holds it out just for 2 seconds and then puts it back away. The bartender roars, congratulates him, says drinks are on the house tonight. 1 round up for everyone. He goes back, telling other stories, smiling. And eventually he leaves. Everyone is just amazed by the story. Okay?
So up until the end, I was going to interject, but can I make an insight?
Sure.
Looking him over, his armor, his weapons, do they look like they've ever seen an ounce of battle?
Ooh, good question. Roll your insight.
While Winter's rolling, does any of his equipment or like iconography look familiar to me?
It does not. Well, it certainly looks. Winter, what was your insight check?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was 7.
Yeah. So it does not look familiar. Do you have like let's do a history shield?
Yeah. Let's see.
I guess I didn't really care enough because, hey, free drinks.
Yeah, you were like, hey, wait a second. Free drinks. Good story.
Yep.
Just a second. And it's a 12.
Yeah, you don't recognize it. It seems to be definitely not a foot soldiers type weapon or armor.
Okay.
Have I ever heard of such a beast?
It sounded like he was talking about dragons.
Sort of, but didn't he mention fur?
I didn't hear the fur part. I heard a big cloud of stuff. Speaking of ancient histories.
There's
Foul?
that.
Yeah, foul.
Fair. Okay.
Foul bewitchment.
I heard foul bewitchment.
Yes.
I heard.
So it may have been a very large chicken, perhaps.
I mean, that's a thing.
I bet it was a green dragon because back whenever I was reading stories when I was a young owlin just on my own, I love to read about dragons. And I got a book from a library once and it was by Hada Mabashusha and it was all about different kind of dragons. And it talked about the green ones and they blow clouds of acid smoke and it disintegrates everything.
I don't think I would like that.
But
Owls have great eyes. Do a perception check. Because you did see the scale.
Yeah. I'm not really very perceptive. I'm just making speculation.
Could be. Could be.
Well,
I will. Naime will speak up. You know the scale is gold, right?
Well, gold or not doesn't mean it wasn't a dragon. There's gold ones too, and bronze ones. Don't bronze ones have acid fuel?
I don't think that I know.
I don't.
That's why I was
don't know that
asking.
I know either. I'm just asking from children's stories.
I always thought dragons had wings. He didn't mention wings.
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty and play the lute. I don't know things about people's adventures and history. I only read those books a long time ago. Sayu and I've been hanging out for what, like 2.5 years now? And how many times in that 2.5 years have you seen me pick up anything made of paper, money for gambling, or a set of playing cards?
Hey, Tree,
I'm thinking, yes?
are you gonna want the drink?
It's better if I don't drink indoors.
Good. I get yours.
Okay.
no, I want it.
And who are you?
Doesn't matter. I like to drink, and I want it.
Shield will slide his drink over to Neris.
Ooh, thank you.
Which one of you's best friends with Sai? Oh yeah, me. If anybody gets Sai's free stuff, it's oh yeah, me. What's wrong with you?
You're too little. You
And-
don't need more.
I was gonna say, pint size gonna drink a
Excuse
pint.
me.
Yeah, right.
Small things, big things come in small packages. You know, like dynamite. Just watch. You'll see.
You wouldn't even be able to finish it.
I've
Yeah,
seen
you-
her finish it before.
Awfully assumptive of you, lass.
Calls them like I see them.
And one branch just kind of reaches out, wraps around the mug, and brings it back and hands it up to Elvira.
And I drink it faster than lightning.
Don't. Oh man, now you're gonna burp all night. See what you did? You made her chug it. Who are you anyway?
Woo!
Someone of no consequence.
I mean, aren't we all someone of no consequence? That doesn't mean you're not a. That doesn't answer the question.
I'm Naime, if you must know.
Well, yes, we must know. And I am Olivera Binks. You can call me Olivera Binks. I'm sure you've heard of me and all of my famous playings across the land. And this is my BFF here. You can simply call them Sai, because if you try to pronounce their name any other way, they're going to moan and groan at you and then end up sighing anyway. So you might as well just call them Sai. Easiest way to go about it. But nice to meet you. And I'll extend my feathers.
Is that one ever quiet?
I would hardly suspect not. You may call me Shield.
Like, isn't that a thing, not a name?
It could be both.
I
It is
mean,
both currently.
I kind of
There's-
like it.
There's a tree named Sai.
That is
Yeah,
not
that's-
my name.
Well, what is it?
What is my name?
Well, yeah. If Sai is not your name.
Mm.
Hello.
That's what always happens.
Ah, there it is.
I'm not
I-
going to say I told you so, but I definitely could use another drink because I fucking told you so.
And I need more drinks before I even attempt that.
At least I tried.
I do appreciate your good-natured attempt.
I've never seen a tree quite like you. You're very pretty.
Thank you. I will buy you the drink you require in exchange for perhaps you could water me before you leave this evening.
Sure, sure. I don't know where to get water, but I'll find some, and I'll definitely water you.
There's some water in the trough outside.
It's kind of dirty. Would you like clean water? I can get you clean water.
I don't care. I just need someone to pour it on my roots. And Elvira gets, well, she's not that big and water is heavy. And it's been dry lately, especially for a rainforest.
Oh, no worry. I'll make sure that you have all the water you need.
Thank you. May I buy you the next round then?
Oh, sure. I love drinking.
Mr. World, is there a stage in the Green Dragon Inn?
There is, in fact, not a stage, unless you'd like to perform.
I would like to sing a song
Yep.
and earn enough coins to pay for a round for my friends.
Everyone is a little tipsy. It is last call, so that is good timing, and it's clearing out a little bit. So, depending on the tip, your server might be willing to put 2 tables together, but you might only need one.
Yeah, I could spare an extra silver or 2 in the tip to make sure I could get in a nice little performance, and I'll pull my lute off my back and give it a little strummy strum.
The bartender starts to wash the glasses and says, "Get up on the bar if you'd like."
Oh, hell no.
Even better! And I'm just going to look at Sai. I'm going to give Sai that I've given Sai so very many times. And I'm going to flutter on up to the bar. And I'm going to land epically. I'm going to take in my hands. And I'm going to strum a lum lum. And I'm going to say, down by the water, under the willow, sits a lone ranger, minding the willow. Da-da-da-da. He and his wife once lived happily, planted a seed that grew through the reeds. Ba, 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 ba. Summers and winters through snowy Decembers, sat by the water close to the embers. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Missing out the lives that they once had before. I wouldn't leave you. I would hold you when the last days comes. What if you need me? Won't you hold me on the last day? Our last day. Wow. End performance.
And the bartender says, "Boom, boom, boom, out. Good night.
Rude.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here."
As soon as Elvira had started or announced that they were performing, Naime kind of dug a hole in like the green seats and pulled out some stuffing and shoved it in her ears.
Do a performance check, please, Elvira.
Oh, I already did. And I performed mediocrely. I've had a little bit to drink. So I'm just middle of the road performance, end of the night. You know how it goes. Last one of the night, no honor, nobody really listening.
The veterans loved it. Got them out of their argument. They heartily clapped. But the The server is walking around the tables, blowing out the candles. It is time to go. So you all walk out of the front of the Green Dragon, and it is night. It is a misty, foggy night. You are on the coast in Astoria. It is along the coast. The oil lamps are out, whale oil lamps. There is some concern about running out of whale oil for the lamps now that fishing has dried up and the industry has dried up. As you walk out, you hear a bit of a scuffle. Shuffle? I don't know. You hear something
Yeah.
right around the corner. Could be a scuffle. Could have been the end of a scuffle, a shuffle after a scuffle, post-scuffle, shuffle. It's hard to say. Around the corner.
Shield will seek out the noise.
All right. You walk around the corner and you see down the alleyway two large feet, a large prone body of a blonde man who has been stripped of his armor, stripped of his belongings, and carved into his chest is the word hero. He is dead.
How large do these two figures look?
No, there's his 2 feet were the first thing you saw.
Oh, his 2 feet. Okay.
Yeah, 2 feet. Sorry.
Can I make a perception check, see if I can tell if anybody fled from here, and where they may have gone?
Sure.
That'll be, let's see, 15 plus.
The rest of you are with Shield. Anyone going to aid in the investigation?
I would have followed, and I can give him guidance.
17 plus whatever guidance is.
It was probably on the way back to my inn, wherever I'm staying. So incidentally, I'm near when Shield finds the body.
Sure.
Guidance is 1d4.
1d4. 17 plus 17 plus 4, 21.
Yeah, you think you might see something there. Maybe disturbed in that. Is that like mud or is that dew on the ground? Maybe a disturbance. But then just behind you, you all hear the words, "Oi! What's it? They've killed a fella. Look at him." You turn
It's
around
like
and
slow turn.
there are 2 town guards who have come upon this grisly scene. Roll initiative.
17.
20.
It's populating. I love it.
14.
I'm not seeing yours in
13.
D&D Beyond, Shield.
Yeah, I've been trying to roll, but it's not actually rolling for me, so I've been having to use a different dice
I
roller.
got it in. All right, here we go. Naris?
Who killed someone? Who?
Oi! We've got some murderers here. Lay them down. Come quietly, come peaceful.
Neris is gonna look around. Be like, where are they? I'll help you.
Oh, we got a funny one here. Try to murder our friend Frederick and sit here and play coy.
Well, I didn't murder anyone, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Elvira.
Yeah, well, so you see, we really didn't murder anybody. We just left the bar over there, the Green Dragon. You could talk to the bartender. I finished up a show, did a minor performance, and then we came here. I rolled a 7 persuasion, so that's probably getting me nowhere.
So you're telling me you've never seen this man before? We just happened to come across, and you're standing over his dead body, and you don't know nothing.
Yeah, that's pretty close to what I said. I didn't say we hadn't seen him before. I said we came from the tavern and he was here. We found him.
So you know him then, see?
No, we don't know him. He was babbling on about some story at the bar and we were having drinks and camaraderie. My friends and I here. Do we look like killers? I think we look like killers. None of us even have blood on us, no weapons. He's stripped naked. Like, how could we just murder him that fast and take all of his stuff and then not have it on us? Last time we saw him, he was wearing fancy, gleaming armor, going on about how he and his compatriots won a battle against a big, giant creature that we speculated was a dragon, but we don't even know because he left.
So we've got a motive, an opportunity, and you know the victim. You're under arrest. Shield.
Shield will step forward ahead of the rest of the group. Sorry, just a sec. Okay. He'll step forward ahead of the rest of the group. He's not pulling his glaive out quite yet, but I'll ask you to forgive me, but I have to insist that you back down. We did not kill this man, and whoever did fled recently. You're wasting time with us.
Okay, was that an intimidation check, or what was that?
We'll go persuasion for now.
Okay, what's that roll?
Yeah, so let's see.
What you think, Ed?
13 flat.
I think I don't believe him. I mean, simple crime. What you think, Fred? Simple. We'll wrap this one up easy. Not much paperwork at all. You're under arrest. That brings up Sai.
I would like to very quietly
Okay.
pick up a pebble, because if I stand still, I am a tree. I'm going to pick up a pebble with one of my back branches and just kind of flick it down the alley where I saw Shield earlier kind of investigating. Looked like he had found something. So I'm going to flick a pebble that way in the hopes that the sound will draw off the guards. Create an
Do a stealth check for being subtle.
All right. Wait, I had it. There we go. Stealth.
You have to beat a 13.
18 plus 3.
You got it. What? You got a friend back there? Is there another accomplice? Is that what we're dealing with?
Either that or the true killer.
Oh. I'm confused. What about you, Ed? I don't know, Fred. Not sure. Naime.
Naime, having listened to everybody trying to persuade their way out of this, is just leaning against the nearest building. You can all probably save your breath. These guards, these idiots, obviously are bought off. I mean, why else would they have been here so quickly? They intend to take us in whether we wish it or not, and whether we're innocent or not. So if we're going to fight, let's just get this on.
Okay.
Like, hand on the pommel, but I haven't drawn yet.
Is that Frederick? Our old friend? Ed, that's Frederick. Fred, is it not? It is. No. We got some decisions to make. What you think? I think we bring them down. We talk to the mayor. We lock them up for the night. In the morning, we sort it all out.
Yep, and there it is. And the shink of drawing the longsword.
You drew your longsword?
Mm-hmm. In the near darkness of the alley, the blade of it glows like moonlight.
Ooh, pretty.
I know it.
Perhaps before we commit murder and make what they say true, we could offer to find the killers. And if we bring them an alternate killer, they could have the glory of the arrest that would actually lead to commendation.
Oh, it's not murder if we're defending ourselves.
Yeah,
I
but
concede your point.
town guards don't usually see it that way.
No, usually they're corrupt.
And
Ed.
trying to fit into jail as a tree is not something I look forward to. Seriously, gentlemen, what if we help you out? You can have the credit.
What do you think, Ed? I don't know, Fred. Can we trust him? Do a persuasion check.
It's not like I'm hard to find. That would be persuasion 17 plus 0.
Well, look, above our pay grade. Do we know where we can find you?
I will be planting myself at the nearest park.
We trust him. I don't know, Fred.
You know the creek that has that little spot where another tree fell down and was carted off so I can get my roots into the water overnight? There's like a stone bench nearby. That's where I've been staying, at least. You could have collateral if you'd like.
I'll tell you what. You lot got 24 hours. 24 hours. We're coming. You're going to be arrested. And we're going to tell the mayor that you murdered our favorite boy. Our favorite boy. You better get him. You better be telling me the truth.
Elvira, don't you have questions for this situation? Anything like that?
I don't have any questions for these guys because my next line of thinking was really in line with it, and the only thing I had to say to them was, "You're not going to take me alive, Copper, and you seem to be doing a much better job at talking than me."
Gotcha. Okay.
Perhaps not the greatest method.
I mean, my questions are things like, why would anyone kill Frederick?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good question. Hey, what did you say your names were again? Fabulous Guard number 1 and Fabulous Guard number 2. Yeah, you look at mighty striking in those outfits. That leather really slims you down, and that belt just makes you look cinched and haunchy. Almost like Fabio. The great elf Fabio.
I don't know him, but I have recently switched to leek soup from mutton, and I switched from mead, lots of sugar in the mead, to just regular ale. So thank you for noticing. Thank you very much. I'm Fred. That's Ed.
Well, Fred and Ed, I will formally introduce myself as the Lady Binks. And I just can't understand why somebody would want to hurt such a glorious, heroic storyteller. Like, he was telling epic sagas in the tavern earlier. We were listening to them from afar and admiring them. And do you know if maybe anybody didn't like his storytelling at all, or if he had a rival adventurer, another contesting hero?
Oh, that's Frederick. He's the best man in town. Oh, everybody likes Frederick.
Okay.
24 hours. You heard it, Ed and Fred. You'll hear it. You'll hear it.
Right.
If we're rather done here, I suspect the actual killer is getting away as we speak. And I'll turn back to the 2 guards. I swear to you, we will find the killer, and I will bring his broken body back before you. Good day, gentlemen. And Shield will turn and try to follow the tracks I saw.
All right. And we're going to break there for tonight. End scene. You guys are on the chase for a murder, or maybe you just skip town. I don't know. And that's where we're going to pick up in session 1 next week. Yes. Final thoughts. Elvira, loving. I love everybody's characters so far. Elvira, final thoughts.
Final thoughts are, I've seen this alleyway before. Heard these guards before, and it ended very similarly to how it almost did before, but we're gonna hunt a murderer! I'm so excited. I'm like, what's that famous guy? Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Wasn't he an osprey? He had the feather cap.
Yeah, some other kind of bird folk.
Wait, aren't y'all talking about Sherlock Bones, the renowned undead detective?
Yes, of course.
Yes, reading is not my specialty.
Who else could we be talking about? All right, a murder most foul. Final thoughts, Neris.
This is not at all like partying.
Like partying. Okay. Shield, final thoughts.
I'm just waiting for a door of evil to get in my way, so that I can show my true art.
And
Property destruction.
Sai, final thoughts.
I am glad that we did not go to jail tonight. I don't know what these people are going to do. They all seem like even more trouble than Elvira. But it will be exciting.
I resemble that statement.
Naime, final thoughts.
I still find it very suspicious that the guards were right on top of us as soon as we discovered the body. So, but now I'm stuck, having to prove my innocence instead of just fighting my way back to freedom and independence.
Can you make it to the third level truly by being truly innocent? We'll find out next week on Kamatchkalan Chronicles.